Good morning, campers. So we're gonna do final reading your month of September for last collective. So if today's one doesn't resonate, you can check out the previous ones that I did. And then on Monday we're gonna do some masculine collectives, right? So let's go for it. Let's start as always. How was your month of August? So you know this is your reading. All right, how was the month of August for this collective? How was the month of August? All right, some big cards. Whoop. One more. Month of August. All right, we have Knight of Wands. I was hearing for this collective, and if I recall correctly, I feel like we covered this in your previous reading, that you may have had some communication with your person. We have Wheel of Fortune, we have Five of Cups, and we have the Devil. We have the Devil. Oh, my beautiful collective. We have Moon at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you did have communication from your person in the month of August, so don't make this fit. It would be an important detail because I was hearing it as an open channel. It's your first card. I feel like it was destined. I feel like it was something that had to happen. It wasn't just a regular, check-in. But I also feel like it caused a lot of sadness still within you. It caused a lot of emotions still within you. It brought up a lot of shadows. And you know what we always say, unfortunately, as long as the moment your person comes in, it brings instability. It brings emotions that you cannot manage. It triggers shadows that you cannot manage, right? It means you're not ready. It means you're not ready. But I'm hearing that there was a very important destined lesson in that encounter. So let's do another row. Knight of Wands. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. I'm hearing more than anything. So with that Knight of Wands, your person would have come in very conqueror, very passionate, very still, you know what we say, I don't sort of condemn the energy just by the Knight itself, because it may mean just the energy how they come in. I look at the following cards, right? So if we had a bit of a king or an emperor situation here, I wouldn't say this, but we only have the Knight. We have a lot of shadows, we have a lot of sadness. So I think they came in still a little bit immature, right? There's nothing wrong. I talk about this all the time, especially when I talk to my masculines as well. There's nothing wrong with coming in with passion. There's nothing wrong with coming in with ignition, right? It's beautiful, and our divine masculines are very passionate, but there's a huge difference between passion, coming on with passion as a king with maturity, but coming in on an impulse, on an I have not thought this through sort of an impulse. But I feel there was something that needed to be removed from this energy. I'm hearing maybe it was also, I mean, it was definitely lesson for both of you, but maybe for your masculine, it was a lesson of it ain't gonna work. Passion ain't gonna fly anymore. It's not enough. It's not enough to just, let's see, hold on. The Tower. The Tower, and that's on top of that Wheel of Fortune. Okay. It would have caused a lot of turmoil in your life, and it would, and I always say this, I know it's so hard, this is why this journey takes so long, but we lead the way. We lead the way. If there is a reunion between the divines, Two of Swords. If there's a reunion between the divines and the divine feminine is already ready, strongly in her divine feminine, anchored in her divine feminine, she will hold this energy for both. And even if there's still going to be recalibration in and out, right? The masculine will be pulled into her strong sort of a divine feminine field, and it will give him that last push to mature. But the feminine herself is not ready. The reunion will not turn into walking towards union. You'll go back into separation, because even if he has still few steps to be ready, if you're ready, we lead the way, right? So you were sort of a lead that way energetically. But what does it mean you're ready? If he comes in, no matter how he comes in, presenting mature, presenting immature, if you cannot hold your center, if it brings you completely out of your balance, you're unable to do your normal, everyday mission, whatever is it that you do, but you get out of balance, you get anxiety, you get shaky, you get scared, you want to hold him, you're afraid that he's going to walk away again, you're not in your divine feminine. True divine feminine understands that with unconditional love comes unconditional freedom. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to fear that you're going to walk away. If you walk away, it means that you're not ready, brother. And you will return when the time is right. What can I do? It doesn't mean you're not going to have emotions. Obviously, it's always emotion. There's always, mixture of joy. There may be a little bit anxiety. But what do I always say to you guys? It's not that people who are healed and centered, that they don't have emotion. It's just that we know how to control it. So it comes in. We don't ride on that wave. We wait for that wave to really go down as we analyze it, as we really feel it, allow ourselves to feel it. And we don't act on that recklessness. We don't force things. Truly in your receiving state, and I feel like it did cause turmoil within still. It caused that tower for you. We have King of Wands. Although that's on top of that. Hold on. And more. Whoa. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely energy of a shift, right? So it happened for a reason. It would have been a difficult re-encounter for you, difficult reunion. It caused a lot of turmoil, confirmation. It caused a huge towered moment in your life, but it was destined. What do I always say to you guys as well? We have Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is good. What do I always say to you guys? In this connection, some pairings, they go into separation and they remain in that separation for years with no reunion, with sometimes even no text message, maybe one, maybe two, right? Throughout all these years, because we are always energetically connected, right? From the moment we meet, we get activated, our energy body is sort of a blend. This person is always with you, and through that thread, we're always connected. So in order to really learn these lessons from each other, we don't actually have to stand in front of each other and see each other. So especially those pairings that have a very strong red thread bond, and where the feminine is particularly powerful to hold this separation, and we also get what we need, right? So the divine knows, our higher selves know. So sometimes you don't need that reunion to know, I have to still heal this, I have to still heal that. Very active on your healing journey, right? Very moving forward. But sometimes these reunions, there's a reason it's coming to my mind. Sometimes these reunions happen to show us that there is still things to be course corrected. So maybe you thought that you were already standing strong in your power. Maybe you thought that this is that moment that if your masculine comes in, you're going to be able to hold it, and that you're ready. And the moment he came, The moment he came in, boom, tower. And you've proven to yourself, the universe has proven to yourself that you're not ready. That there's still things that need to be changed. We have 5 of Cups and we have 5 of Pentacles. I feel like those shadows that God illuminated, that you went into sadness. That you went into maybe blaming yourself. What did I do wrong? Did I say something? There's nothing, listen. When he comes in for a reunion, okay, and we say something, not malicious, you just are who you are. You talk about random things, right? If that trigger him and he pulls back, it's because he's not mature. He's not ready. He's not divine masculine. True divine masculine, just like true divine feminine, we don't get triggered by nonsense. We're very aware of our shadows. We're very aware of our triggers. We can link those triggers. I'm sorry if you sniffed. We're able to connect the dots, to link those triggers to specific wounds that we've already healed, integrated, and we're managing them, right? So if you said something and there he goes, he runs away, it's never your fault. It's never your fault. What do we always say? It's always us. So whatever triggered him, it's for him to process. It's for him to process. I want one more for the King of Wands. Hold on. Okay, that's actually good. We have Justice in the Fool, 2 beautiful major arcanas. What I'm hearing, we said this already. Remember, it was needed. It was needed. I feel like it was needed more for him than for us. Something is coming to my mind, so I'm going to share it with you. Sometimes, when these things happen on our journey, especially when the feminine is not yet ready, right? So they come in, we try to hold that strength of our divine feminine. We say something, maybe they get triggered, they pull back. We go into blaming ourselves, sometimes for months, if not for years, until the next reunion, right? Why did I say that? Maybe if I haven't said that, right? But when you come into that union, you're your authentic selves. You cannot be walking on eggshells around your partner who has, who's like triggered center, right? Especially if you're not doing anything wrong, especially if you're not saying, you're just being you. You're just being who you are. So, right, it's never on you. But when they disappear, we usually get in this, why did it happen? Oh, it was so close. And you go into that suffering again. You go into that grief again, right? Of losing this person again. Even if it was literally just like exchange a few messages. That's how intense it is for us. That's how powerful it is for us. So oftentimes we forget that in that moment, they suffer too, because they get triggered. Something is still too much for them to handle. So they go back into their avoidance. They run away, but they already have enough awareness of what's going on. Not yet maybe all their shadows, not yet, right? But enough awareness of who you may be to them and what is this connection and how powerful it is. They are too in longing. That's the reason they come in. They miss you. They're in longing. So from their perspective, it's also like, I screwed up. Like I got triggered. I ran away. Then days go by, or weeks go by. So they don't want to, return again and full on separation. We go back to it. So it's difficult for them too. And maybe not in this exact moment. It depends where you are on a journey. But oftentimes, when they're ready to step into awareness, getting closer to their Satori, they will be thinking about those moments. These moments will be returning to them to really analyze, to really learn these lessons. And I feel like, although it was a lesson for you, I feel like for this person, it was a very destined lesson to mature. to realize that I, thought that I'm going to come in, so passionate, so cocky, so confident, and with few little things that were said or done, I ran away like a little baby. I need to mature. So I'm not, perhaps it's not going to be yet a conscious thing, that he's not going to be maybe thinking it as I'm saying it to you, but it was destined. It was whatever happened, it was karma between the wheel was, it was between the two of you that needed to turn, it needed to happen. So look at it that way. Use it as a tool to recalibrate, to really see. We're going to do what's going to happen in the month of September. We're going to do a little bit of your shadows that you need to work on, but really use it to analyze, how did I react? I'm hearing you blame yourself still. So if you blame why do I blame myself? No relationship will work out if you cannot be who you are in front of your partner. If you cannot be you. Constantly afraid what I'm going to say and it's going to upset him. It's not normal. Not even between like soulmates or even freaking karmics. It's not normal. It's not normal. We are responsible for our own emotions. A mature person is responsible, adult mature person is responsible for their reactions, for their emotions, for their wounds, for their triggers. Yes, we can hold space for each other. Yes, we can be sensitive. Yes, if you love someone, you care how they feel. But as long as, again, you're not doing anything wrong, you're healed, and you're just being you're nonchalant, funny, maybe you said something, it's not on you. So why do you think that? Why did you go into sadness? Why did you go into disappointment? Analyze this. If you are disappointed, ergo, you had expectations. If you had expectations, ergo, you want something from this person. Ergo, the love is not completely unconditional just yet. It's easy to say from the very beginning, I love him unconditionally. But we may understand the concept, but we don't necessarily embody it fully until we heal. All right. But it's a good thing. It might not look like it, but it's a good thing. It was a powerful calibration. All right. All right, my lovies. Let's go for what's going to happen in the month of September. What's going to happen in the month of September? Hold on. All right, that's better. Okay. Month of September for this collective. Month of September. Hi. Okay, I'm not liking this, so we're gonna have a little pep talk, okay? All right, we have same different day. Talking, okay, that word twice. I'm not liking it. Sword and Rose, clarity, truth, revelations, determination, honor, protection, and we have bad karma. Okay, so what I was hearing with these two, if this first part resonated, buckle up, okay? Because I feel like you're not seeing things, and we've mentioned this a little bit, right? So you're looking from your perspective, like now I'm gonna suffer, now I miss him, now I'm in grief again. I feel like this collective, you might have went into that thinking that nothing changed. Oh my God, this man has not changed. Yet again, he abandoned me. Yet again, he messaged, he promised, I don't know what, and then he disappears. Don't go there. It is not true. Just like we change and evolve every month. Remember what I always say to you guys on this journey as a mantra. We are equals. We are equals. Until the moment you will not understand and you will look down on him like he's behind, like he's not changing, he's not healing, sage different day, you will never get into union. Unity, one. We are one. One soul, one consciousness, one chakra system. For as long as you, even subconsciously, look down on him, he will remain in that lack mentality that our masculines struggle for so long. He right now, if that's your reading, your masculine right now is literally blaming himself. What have I done? Maybe he's not thinking consciously the way, again, I was talking to you, but he feels anger and frustration towards himself because he wanted to come through. He wanted to see you. He misses you. He loves you. But he still, it's the armor. He cannot handle the shadows just yet. So if he cannot have the energy of his divine feminine to hold space for him to heal, how is he supposed to heal? You're the spiritual teacher in the connection. You lead the way. And I'm not saying to excuse shit, right? The bar has to be right here with true divine feminine. But when things happen, you always have to look at it with love and compassion. It's okay, my love. If you're not ready, it's okay. No worries. You don't have to necessarily say this to him again, right? It's through red threads. It's through energy. Just feel it. Go into meditation. Say it in your mind. It's okay. I feel this collective. You may go into nothing has changed. He has not changed. If you change, he's changed. We always pull them in. We both change. It's just that we present differently because he has to. I talk about this all the time. Watch my masterclass. I have a specific episode about this topic. He has to remain in the matrix. He has to remain underneath the veil. How else would he complete his part of this journey? This is teamwork, right? And it's not like you're so smart, you're seeing it all. It's the divine that lifted the veil for you. It's your kundalini that made you see, right? So why would you blame him for not seeing certain things? It hasn't happened for him yet. It could have not, right? So I feel for you, this is a very important lesson to really observe your behavior, observe your emotions. I feel like from that grief, from that blame, from that sadness, you may go towards anger and frustration. Maybe you even talk bad about him, whether that's to your friends, if you talk to your friends about this connection, or maybe even just to yourself. Oh my God, no. It's the other half of you. Remember, it's always the reflection. Whatever you think of him, subconsciously part of you thinks that about yourself. We're one. We're one. We walk this journey together. To an outside observer, there's an illusion that we don't. But just as like I say to you guys always, that we move through same shadows. It's just different settings, different levels, right? For us, it may be like 5th rodeo. For them, the first one, because we have to give them strength. But we work like it's like, imagine two people in their world divided by a wall. They don't even realize, but their life progresses in a very similar way. Again, to an outside observer, it seems like it doesn't, but we're working on a soul level. We don't care about the 3D matrix. I feel there will be certain things that, it will be a month of revelations, a month of we're not ready, I thought we were closer. But look at both of you, look at as a wholeness, because I'm not liking this last card that you have. It's the more you, to whom much is given, much is expected. This journey is a gift, and I know feminines that it's been too much for them, so they go into blaming their masculines. Some of them, and I spoke about this like I think months ago to you guys in a video. Try to get rid of this connection, cut the cords. Do not ever attempt to do this. It's like trying to cut yourself away from a piece of you, from a piece of your soul. You will never find peace if you do this. You will never find wholeness. You will never reach true inner union. It's against divine law. It's punishable. It's you're one. Don't allow yourself to go into this aggression. Don't build up negative karma. You're only going to prolong, or even if you do something extremely silly, make it impossible for you in this lifetime. It's not given. Sorry. It's not given. It's on our destined timeline if we walk the path, if we choose to walk the path. But it's not given. We can screw it up. We can screw everything up. This is why we do this so many times. Why do you think we don't come here one time on this earth, but hundreds of lifetimes? Same shit, different day. Creeping. Creeping. I love this card. Look at it. Creeping. I'm hearing don't go back to your old ways. Maybe you, maybe in the past, right? And this is also why sometimes they return for recalibration to see if we actually change or our shadows just became dormant in separation. Do you understand what I mean? So it may be that, you know, in the past you had some tendencies to like control, spy on him, see what he's doing, whether he's changed. Maybe in that separation you stopped, because again, there's this is why that reunion sometimes happen, because there's a difference when we're in separation. There's a difference between just becoming dormant because we haven't seen each other for a very long time and actually healing. So watch out for not returning to things that you were doing in the very beginning. Maybe you were spying on this person. Maybe you will have temptation to spy on them again. Don't. Allow him to go back where he came from. When the time is right, you do you. You continue you. It's a huge test for whether you actually released your ego. Moving on. Thank you, next. This collective. Come on! Remember, this journey ain't for the weak. It ain't easy. You cannot look and compare yourself to other people. For most people, standards are here. Then we have healers, people who are awakened, standards are here. And then we have the most powerful, magical journey channels, spiritual teachers. The bar is here. The bar is here. You're someone who receives messages directly from divine through the channel of your body. Really? That's going to be your energy? We expect more. Message from your guides. We expect more. He's the other half of you. You're just not ready. You cannot force the river. Continue to heal. Don't go into this, oh my God, he hasn't changed. It's just been ridiculous. I'm not going to be waiting forever. I want to move on. Next, I want to be aligned with a soulmate. Listen, I say this all the time. It's your choice. You can choose that. My universal truth, this journey is such a gift. And we receive with this journey so many gifts that kind of behavior is a lack of gratitude. And sooner or later, you will be pushed back to this journey. So you're only prolonging inevitable. And that is the exact reason why sometimes you guys ask me why separation for some is 2-3 years and for others it's like 5-8. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Don't go there. It's expectation. It only means, remember what I said, it only means you don't yet love him unconditionally. You have conditions. You want things from him. You want him to be a certain way, to give you certain things. And if not, boo, move on to next. It's literally like receiving the most beautiful, amazing, one-of-a-kind, one model only, vintage, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce kind of a car. And being like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna get a Seat because, or a Volkswagen because it requires less work. Okay, if that's what you want, if that's what you want, so be it. Remember, universe, listens